All right, folks, well, welcome back. Listen, we have Richard Schaefer here with us today. We are so excited to be talking to him. He's actually got, what is it, over 12 certifications, over 12 licenses.
I used to have 13, but not anymore.
He's, he believes in knowledge, right? And that's actually what we want to get into, make sure you know what we're talking about when we discover different ways of banking, different ways of paying down, paying off our debt. And he's going to get into that. So listen, without further ado, Richard, man, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your time here.
No, listen, CJ, thank you. And I appreciate you almost inviting me into your home, if you will, because I know that you've really done a great job of cementing yourself, honestly, in the lives of a lot of the people that follow your work. And I really want to acknowledge you for being, one of the preeminent content creators in your space, and not just in the velocity banking space, but in money management, in debt elimination, in trying to give people the opportunity to plan themselves a future financially. And I really want to credit you for that. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, and it's been really a privilege to watch you grow and evolve in this space. So thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of that. And folks, he's right. I mean, this has been great because now we've developed this relationship where we're able to perfectly and seamlessly fit together in a way that allows us to help people do exactly what you coach on, CJ. And a lot of times we think it's about this strategy or this concept or this, that, and the other. And it's really about how do we help people execute on the given strategies that you and so many others provide, right? We don't provide uniquely different advice in terms of strategies and ideals. It's a matter of using our technology, the Money Max account, that's literally GPS for money to help people navigate through that. And what it reminds me of is that, you know, and I can't help CJ, but use this example, but here we are coming up to Thanksgiving here in a few days, right? And that means Christmas is right around the corner. And what's right after that? New Year's. And every January 1st, folks, like clockwork, CJ, what are the top two New Year's resolutions each and every year? What are they?
Man, you got to lose weight and you got to get out of some debt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fitness and finance, right? Lose weight, get in shape, get out of debt, and save money. But here's the more important question. Why are they the exact same two each and every year?
Would it be because we failed to do it on the last
Yeah.
year?
Yes, folks, because we don't, there's a great adage that says that people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. But more specifically, they fail to follow through. Me, you, everybody. Okay. Losing weight is the easiest one in the world to do, right? Eat less, exercise more. Easy peasy. How hard could that be? Well, it's not that easy, but it is that simple, right? But it's because we don't follow through, and it's not because we don't want to. Yes, sometimes we're all a little lazy, right? Sometimes we procrastinate for sure. But it's because we don't see the relationship between what we're doing and what it leads to. And that's exactly why, in a financial sense, that we developed the Money Max account so that we could actually take the guesswork out of it. We could take the opportunity to work with folks like you that are educators, content creators, influencers, other financial professionals, and say, regardless of whatever strategy you've developed for that client, whatever path you've charted for them, we can help ensure that they're going to stay accountable and they're actually going to be successful. So part of the way that we're able to do that is that the system literally works like GPS for money, right? Now let's think about a long time ago, and it wasn't that long ago really, where the only way you could navigate around town was a compass, right? That was it, right? And then we developed the early forms of maps, and then MapQuest, and then Tom's Guide, and all these other things, right? MapQuest I used to like, but there was one problem with MapQuest, right? It showed you the route, but it didn't know what kind of problems were going to lie ahead in your path. And unless you had another computer or a printer in your car, you were stuck, right? So GPS made all of that automated. And so we figured out, what if we could actually take all these proven systems and strategies that banks have been deploying for decades, but using to their advantage instead of ours, and we could turn the table. What if we could build all of those algorithms into a program, all this factorial math engines, to be able to help the average person know exactly what to do with every dollar they have until they spend it? And that's really what we've created with the Money Max account. And it's why we're so excited to be able to create these kind of partnerships, because GPS doesn't care who's driving, does it? It doesn't care what vehicle you're in. And it doesn't care what destination you choose. It has one goal, no emotion. How do you get from point A to point B as quickly as possible? What else does that sound like? Finances. Our goal is to get not just to retirement, not just to financial freedom, but hopefully financial independence. But usually debt is in the way. And not just debt, but life. Life isn't going to stop happening. And normal financial plan, CJ, can't take that into account. And I'm sure you see that. I mean, you have to see that every day, right? When you're dealing with different individuals, what's keeping them from staying on track? What would you say is the biggest challenge, the biggest hurdle most of your clients face when you're working with educating and coaching them on these principles and concepts?
So I would say they have the concepts, they have the strategies, like you were saying, they have the plans, but day-to-day life, man, they just don't implement them, because life gets in the way. And that's the biggest thing, one of the biggest things I've seen.
Absolutely. Well, life doesn't stop lifing, as they say, right? It might have been you that actually gave me that expression because it's going to happen tomorrow and next week and the Thursday after that. And life isn't going to stop happening, right? So just like GPS, what does it take into account? Life is not a straight line, right? Driving from point A to point B is not a straight line because there's a thing called traffic accidents and detours and road construction and railroad crossings and having to stop to get gas or go get something to eat or you get a flat tire. GPS is able to instantly recalculate that route and re-estimate your time of arrival, et cetera. What if we could do that with your money, the average person's finance? And that's exactly what we've done with the Money Max account. It is the single most dynamic program that's ever been all of its time. It's not just an aggregator, it's not just a budgeting tool. It actually creates predictive information about the long-term impact of every decision you made and or those that you're contemplating on making, telling you the estimated effective cost of that decision. And it helps the average person to literally bank like a bank at the push of a button. We can actually turn the tables on this system and take these Wall Street secrets, if you will, make them available to the average person. That's more than just lip service. We've been doing it for many, many years now and been able to successfully help those people. Because wouldn't you see that, like in the clients you deal with, if you could help them stay more accountable, more on track, and they would follow through successfully, wouldn't that help
Yes,
the outcome?
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'd love
And that's
that.
the name of the game.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So, let's say somebody was curious about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's curious about this and they want to go a little further into this and they want to see because they're very serious about getting out of debt, about building their wealth.
Yep.
What would you suggest that they do, the first steps?
Sure, sure. And, listen, education is the forefront of everything. I think that's why I got into the financial industry many years ago. We talked about, I think that when we first met. And so as a result of that, because of this relationship we developed with you, and obviously the trust and respect that we've developed for you and your commitment to your clients, we're going to offer to do like a free informational webinar to give people more information to understand a little bit more about what this involves, whether it's something that could actually benefit them. And we'll provide you a registration link so that we can obviously, provide a customized route for anybody that wants to register to attend that webinar. Again, it's no cost. And from there, they'll have the ability, if they have additional interest or they think it's something that could really potentially help them, or they can schedule a complimentary, no obligation appointment where we'll give them a free savings analysis report to see exactly what this system could potentially do for them. And as a result, they'll see what it may do for them, how quickly they can potentially be out of debt, because we help accelerate and partially automate a lot of that process that often gets in the way that creates the obstacles to us being successful.
Wait a minute, did you say free analysis?
Well, only for you, CJ. Yeah, for
Nice,
sure.
man.
So,
Hey, hey,
so it's
hey,
a free
that's good.
informational webinar.
Yeah.
And I think that what I love is that we don't need somebody's account numbers. We don't need their social security number, just the basic profile of their financial situation so
Mhm.
that we can see what those results may look like for them. And the appointment only takes about 45 minutes. Their basic financial stuff, income, expenses, debt, interest rates, balances, et cetera. And we can give them a pretty accurate initial draft of what that might look like. And we'll provide them a savings analysis report so that they can decide whether or not they see the value in potentially moving forward. And we're really happy to partner up with you in that way to do it.
Wow, man. Well, look, I want to thank you for that. And we're definitely going to make that available. You guys see it
Perfect.
right now on your screen. Okay. We want to bring attention to that. Listen, it's an informational webinar that basically answers the questions that you've been asking, right? And a whole
Yeah,
lot more. So, oh man, Rich, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And folks, we will see you on the webinar. Is it going to be
absolutely.
what, this Tuesday?
Yeah, we do it Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
Be there or be square, as they say. We try to
All
start
right.
on time, and hopefully, I know how busy your schedule is, but we would love it if you're able to join us on one of those calls. It's always great to have one of the industry experts on content creators, influencers in this space that's able to join us. So we would open that up as well. We generally do a little bit of a demo on the call to show somebody visually what the system looks like. We try to have a client testimonial if someone is able to make themselves available to talk a little bit about their personal experience. And at the end, I even do about a 10 or 15-minute little Q&A. So if
Mhm.
people have a question, I don't care how outrageous they think it is, I can address some of those live. And then from there, they have a QR code to schedule an appointment at their convenience. And I'd say that, and again, no, the thing that we're most excited about is, most people are trying to just gain more information, right? We're all tired of being like pitched and sold stuff. It annoys me beyond belief. So we try to make it as uninvasive as possible. Again, allowing people to register for a free informational webinar. And again, on that, we'll be able to provide not just some industry specific influencers and experts like yourself, do a little bit of a demo to give people a taste of what that may look like. Have hopefully a client that's able to provide some firsthand experience from their perspective. At the end, I always do like to do a little Q&A. And from there, there'll be a QR code for somebody that wants to get an opportunity to do a free personalized savings report analysis on an appointment at their own convenience. And obviously from there, we'll be able to determine whether or not something could benefit them. So can't really make it any easier and less invasive for people, especially a lot of the folks that you work with directly, CJ. So we really appreciate that opportunity, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing a lot of your folks on one of our upcoming information webinars. That one will be tomorrow, actually. Now look like, but that Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and really looking forward to having a bunch of your folks here join us there.
All right, man. And you know what? I'm going to be joining tomorrow as well, man. We're
Perfect.
going to go ahead and work that into our schedule. I think it's something that
Perfect.
people need to see. All right. So, Richard, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining. Folks, go ahead and register right now for that webinar. We'll go ahead and see you as well. And listen, I think we'll go ahead and see you on the webinar then, huh?
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you
man.
so
God
much,
bless
EJ.
y'all. Bye.
You too.